Welcome to our first chapter in our nutrition textbook titled A Market for Nutritious Food. In this chapter, we will learn about the current market need and industry trends for nutrition and menu options, identify some health issues caused by poor nutrition, talk about opportunities for service professionals with knowledge of nutrition, and find out who the credible sources are in relation to nutrition information. I don't think it's any surprise that the market for healthy menu options is growing. Eating out has become part of the American lifestyle, whether by choice or necessity. And with the increased visits to restaurants and food service operations, the increased expectation for foods that meet customer needs have also increased. Customers depend on restaurant and food service leaders to be knowledgeable about food handling and food safety, but now with issues of obesity, diabetes, and hypertension, there's also an expectation of more nutritious menu options. Menu labeling is a more recent change to help assist people who want to address their dietary requirements when eating out. Federal legislation, as well as some state and local laws, mandate that restaurants and vendors with 20 or more locations must label their menus with calorie counts for standard menu items. Food service operators are also required to be knowledgeable about nutrition since they are responsible for interpreting the data and having it on their menus. Before we in the industry can assess recipes or change menus to meet these legislation guidelines, we have to really understand why people care about their dietary intake. Nutrients are the chemical compounds in food that help our bodies maintain optimal health. Nutrition is the science of how these nutrients in food affect our health. And all it takes is being around someone that is hungry to know that food is needed to function properly. Assessing or choosing nutritious food is often a struggle for people, so too little nutrients or too much can cause poor health. There are a lot of factors that can influence our food choices. If we look at this chart, personal preference, I think, is the most obvious one, especially with kids. I know I spent many nights when my kids were young trying to expand their palates to include more than chicken nuggets and mac and cheese, and I know I'm not the only one. The second here, traditions and habits. A good example of this, I never ate rice until I was probably in my 20s, which is kind of crazy to think, but growing up, my dad didn't like it, so it was just not something that we ever had. Other influences on this chart that stick out to me are health concerns and allergies. These two are definitely huge influences on food choices. The other big one is income level. Food choices are for sure going to be influenced by the amount of money you have to spend. The opportunities in food service related to nutrition are expanding as the concern for health and healthy lifestyles are increasing. The industry is in need of professionals who are educated in nutrition and can provide nutritious food. Some nutrition-related jobs here listed, you have a menu planner, private chef, recipe developer, research chef. You can see there's some others there. Adult breakfast skippers. Breakfast is the meal most commonly eaten at home, yet it is often the most skipped by adults. The food service industry currently targets breakfast for on-the-go items, and it has a lot of potential for increased healthy options for us that choose to go for coffee and no breakfast, like myself. Home meal replacements is a growing trend with food that has been prepared, cooked, chilled, and made ready for simple reheating. People are less willing to spend time preparing a meal, but they still want healthy options in lieu of fast food. There are changes in quick service restaurants. Um, People dining are wanting convenience of healthy, quick eating. The industry has responded and started offering alternative, healthier options. And other types of dining operations, such as schools, your healthcare facilities, senior living centers, and correctional facilities, healthier cooking has been a focus for quite some time. Nutrients are present in meals, and quality ingredients are used whenever possible. The internet has become the center for everything food. It has become the go-to for ideas for meal planning, recipes, nutrition information, cooking demonstrations, and especially the last few years, ordering food for delivery. Many people hire private chefs to cook healthy meals for their entire families or for family members with special dietary needs. Spas and health clubs often hire a professional with knowledge of nutritional cooking. These chefs need to be creative and produce smaller, flavorful portions. The food products industry is a huge business that serves restaurant and food service operations as well as consumers. This industry continually develops products to help reduce labor and food costs and products that help healthy eating. As knowledge of nutrition grows and consumer interest increases, food service professionals will need to be able to answer more difficult questions about the items on their menus. It is important to choose credible sources for your nutrition information. Information is available on trade associations like the National Restaurant Association and the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. Governmental agencies such as the Food and Drug Administration and the United States Department of Health and Human Services also provide information. This chart provides additional resources. It may be necessary to hire a specialist or a consultant. Three human sources would be considered a registered dietitian, a registered dietetic technician, and an ACF certified chef. Thank you for listening to the Chapter 1 lecture. Please review the summary slides 11 through 21. After reading Chapter 1, please complete the Chapter 1 quiz. Have a great week.